Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to a brand new video, another Scream Fortress video. And I said in the last one that I was going to be covering all the new unusual effects, all the new cosmetics, etc. And I put out a poll over on Twitter saying what should I do a video on, and the one with the most votes at the moment is cosmetics. And I figured I'd do what I did last time where I gave my honest opinions on all of the cosmetics added in the 2021 Scream Fortress cosmetic case. Now, the Crimson Cache case is one of the first cases we've had in years that hasn't had that coloured spider on the back, so instantly we've made progress there. And some of the cosmetics in this case are genuinely amazing, some of them not so much. Without further ado, we're going to be going through all the new cosmetics added and giving my opinions on them. So the first cosmetic we're going to be taking a look at is the Beanie the All Gnawing. Obviously a play on the Bonzo the All Gnawing unusual effect. I really like it. I think its stock colour is this purple colour that we can see on the Scout and the Engineer. I really like it. I do like the Beanie cosmetics a lot, and Bonzo is one of my favourite effects. If you could get this with Bonzo the All Gnawing, it would be absolutely unreal, like stupid expensive. But obviously you haven't been able to unbox Bonzo for quite a while, so we're just going to have to put up with this for the meantime. Overall though, I do like it. It's a nice blue grade to start us off. Up next, we've got the Death Stare, which is a Demo Man Skull cosmetic, and it's pretty straightforward. It kind of reminds me of the Deadhead for the Spy. It's very similar, in fact, apart from, obviously, it's got an eye patch over where there would be an eye looking through it. It's pretty cool. It's just like, I think how good it looks depends on the cosmetics that you use with it. Up next, we have one of my favourite cosmetics in the case, which is actually a blue, being the Hat Outta Hell. It kind of reminds me of the rotation sensation, apart from it obviously has these, like, devil horns coming out from the top. I love it. It's an all class in unusual. This would be relatively cheap to pick up in comparison to other all classes, but I can imagine it still being a lot, especially with those higher tier unusual effects that I'll have a video coming out on soon. Overall, I just really like this. It looks super smart, and on all the classes it looks good. Again, very similar to the rotation sensation, which is one of my personal favorite all class cosmetics. Up next, we have the Scariest mask ever. And I get it's funny, like I get it's like a funny joke cosmetic, but like realistically, if you're using a cosmetic slot to use this, you're kind of playing yourself. Like, I don't know, it's funny, it's cool, and it's not poorly made at all. In fact, it's very well made. I love like the fact it's all scribbled in, like it looks really poorly drawn, but I just can't see myself ever using that in a loadout, seriously. Up next, we got the Twisted Topper, which is basically the Halloween version of the Dr. Dapper's topper. As opposed to having the red and white stripes, we've got the orange and black stripes with a small pumpkin crest in the center of it. I'm pretty sure this one's an all class as well. And yeah, it just looks pretty nice. I'm not a huge fan of the top hats. It gives me gibbous vibes, and no one likes gibbous vibes. But yeah, it's not a bad cosmetic by any means, just not one that I'd go out of my way to pick up. Up next, we have the Creepy Crawlers, and these kind of remind me of the Catastrophic Companions, and they're super expensive. Obviously, this is a mercenary grade, so it won't fetch nearly as much. It just essentially covers the mercenary in spiders, and it's kind of cool. It could be really nice if you use it with the Spider Unusual Taunt effect. I think it's called Arachnid Attack or something. That could be really cool, and you could get like a really cool spider-themed loadout, but I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of those like small animals over the body cosmetic. Up next is another really cool one in the mercenary grades, being the Spooky Head Bouncers. And I know what you're going to ask. Yes, they have jiggle physics. I mean, what more can you ask for? It's an all-class cosmetic. It's just got these, like, wobbly eyes coming out of the top, and it doesn't just stop there. There's 3 styles of this cosmetic that gives you the Monoculus, the Floating Phantoms, and the Pumpkin Pouncers. So, I just love that. It's basically 3 cosmetics in one, and I just think it's so cool, and those jiggle physics are crazy. Again, not really to be taken too seriously, much like the Scariest mask, but I just would much rather have this just purely for those jiggle physics. Up next, we've got the Trickster's Treats, and as you can see, it's like a pocket cosmetic that puts on these small candies, like a lollipop of a ghost and like a wrapped up hard candy of a pumpkin. It's cool. It's just like, I don't really like those pocket cosmetics one bit, or I'm not really too sure what the phrase is for them, but they go where the Demo and the Pyro would keep their ammunition strapped across their chest, and just overall, I can't imagine myself using them. So up next is another banger in the mercenary grades. We've got the Corpse Carrier, and as you can see, it is like this. It's one of those Halloween costumes where you can pretend you're like in a giraffe or something, but this is the Scout carrying the Scout, and I just think it's so so cool. I like, again, it's not a super serious cosmetic, but just for laughs and just for fun, this is a great one. And definitely looking forward to inevitably unboxing quite a few of these. And for the last mercenary grade of the case, we have the Smiling Soman for the Pyro. This is amazing. It's this sort of like warrior samurai kind of mask that we've been getting a few cosmetics in that theme for the Pyro as of late. And yeah, just looks absolutely amazing. As you can see in this poster here, just looks so sick. It goes perfectly with the cosmetics as well. Yeah, just really cool. It's a nice change from the generic Pyro mask of like the skull or like the nose candy or something. It's nice to see something refreshing like this. So for our first commando grade of the case, we have the second-hand headwear, and it's like a modest pile of hat and just like a normal sort of like top hat, but underneath it is like half of a decapitated zombie head. I like it a lot. I genuinely like it a lot. It does look kind of ridiculous when it's on because you have not only a hat on top of your head, but below that you have half a zombie head, so it looks super elevated. But it's really cool. It's a nice, very Halloween-y cosmetic. Up next we have the Aquarium, which is another commando grade. It's really cool, and before you ask, yes, there are jiggle physics. I'm pretty sure that the eyes wobble around on this thing, which will just make for some absolutely hilarious clips. I can't wait to see this in the trade servers, etc. Like, I know so many people are going to be using this. So up next we have the Goalkeeper, which is an all-class Jason Voorhees style ice hockey mask, and I'm pretty sure the Pyro has a cosmetic really similar to this already, but I mean, hey, if that wasn't enough, now we've got an all-class one. It is definitely pretty cool. I do like how it looks, and like how it looks on all of the classes as well. It does look really nice. Yeah, just not a huge amount to say about it. It's a massive ice hockey mask with red markings on it. That's all there is to it. So up next we have the Alakablamicon. I've definitely butchered that name, but I think it's sort of meant to be, you know, butchered. It's this sort of like Crohn's Dome style hat, and it definitely reminds me of the magic sorting hat in Harry Potter, if any of you guys remember that from years and years ago. It does look very similar. This is an all-class cosmetic, and it looks really cool. I do genuinely like how this looks, and I love the little detail of like the spot above the eyes and the eyes changing color depending on what team you're on. And with this being an all-class hat, I can imagine it's going to be pretty expensive in unusual form, but there's one that's even better in the later stages of the case. Up next though, we've got the Hook, Line and Thinker. Now, this cosmetic's kind of gruesome, honestly. It's this like phantom ghost hook that's attached itself to the skin of your head and pulling the skin back, and the brain is visible underneath. It's honestly pretty gruesome. I don't know if I can show this on YouTube, but yeah, like a nice Halloween cosmetic. It definitely strikes me more as a cosmetic that would be Halloween restricted as opposed to being in a Halloween case, but it looks like they're pushing the boundaries, and this is going to be one that you can use all year round. I just, again, I can't see myself using it. If you get like a nice green unusual effect on that, it might look really nice though, so I'm intrigued to see that. Up next we've got the Optic Nerve, and it is a medic hat, and it's just sort of this, I mean, you can see what it is. It's these like metal glasses with the eyes bulging out, and then like a metal cap around it with the brain being visible. Definitely pretty haunting. I mean, the last two mercenary graves in this case are pretty damn gruesome, honestly. Pretty cool. I just can't imagine myself using it, and there's a pretty similar engineer cosmetic already in the game as well. Up next we got the Gruesome Gourd for the Spy, and this is really cool. It is only a Spy cosmetic, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen this on everything, but what I love about this is there's two styles and it can be painted, and as you can see here, you can either paint the exterior of the pumpkin or the glow coming from underneath. So if you put like a lime on this, that yellow glow around the mask will go green. Alternatively, yeah, you can paint that outside as well. I love that customization ability on it. I really like this for a spy mask. Like, there is a lot of good contenders like the No Mercy and the Deadhead, but I really like this, and I can't imagine it being too much, with it only, of course, being assassin grade. Once the hype of the case goes down, those assassin grades don't normally hold their price too well, but what I do think will hold pretty well is the Bone Cone. Now, this is like the Crohn's Dome on steroids. So it's like this witch's hat once again. It's got a belt around it with a skull in the middle, and it's got these like bones going all the way around. I really like this, like possibly prefer it to the Crohn's Dome. I just love the detailing of the bone all the way up the hat. I think it's really cool. So yeah, big fan of this. I can't wait to see what unusuals get unboxed with this. I can imagine them fetching very high prices. Up next we've got the Wandering Wraith for the Pyro, and this is another one of those where it's like, not only do I not really understand how it's assassin grade, but this again strikes me as the type of cosmetic that would just be a Halloween restricted one, let alone like being in the case, being able to wear it all year round. But it's pretty cool. It's definitely pretty edgy. It's a skull with devil horns, or like goat horns. So yeah, take from that what you will. I don't think I'll be using this. I'll stick with The Last Breath for now. It's a little bit less intense. Definitely really well made and definitely fits that Halloween theme perfectly. And for the only elite grade in this case, it's a little underwhelming in my honest opinion. We've got the Towering Patch of Pumpkins. Running with the theme of the Towering cosmetics in TF2, this is an elite grade that just features 3 pumpkins stacked on top of each other, all with different expressions. It's cool. It's definitely a really cool cosmetic, but as the only elite grade in the case, I can't help but feel a little bit underwhelmed. I don't know about you guys, let me know down below. But yeah, I can't imagine this fetching a huge amount, and once the hype of the case dies down, I think this cosmetic will drop in price quite a bit. But that is just about it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, please do remember to leave a like and let me know your thoughts down below, along with what your favourite cosmetic is in the case. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and peace.
Everything you said to me was lingering inside my head. I tried my best to set you free, but now I'm better off dead. Don't try, cause I'm not trying to argue. We can make it work, but you don't have the heart to. Sitting by myself inside this dark room.